that double biceps. It is in the contract, a legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. It's making sure the lawyers are happy. They have seen one bicep right there, and there is another bicep right there. It is no trick of the camera at all. There is two of them on the screen at the same time. Amazing. Is one of those illusory effects, but there is actually two arms right there. All right. Well, with the co-founder, the co-host, the co-breather of air, the co-wearer of clothes in this very room, it is none other than the master of disaster, the king of sting, the Count of Monte Cristo, Thunderlips, the ultimate male. It is, in fact, your friend and mine, the winner of the Dave Stockbridge of the Year award, the illustrious award hiding in the background there somewhere, held by illustrious man with the illustrious beard. It is none other than Dave Stockbridge. Stockbridge, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for that very warm welcome as always, Hollywood Mate Connolly, and welcome to Monday on Arm Wrestling Tonight. And the man on screen right now, let's introduce him. It was just a matter of months ago when AWE were looking around the Southern Hemisphere for some of the best arm wrestlers. We were looking for up-and-coming talent. We were looking for new names. We were looking for somebody who might be able to wrest the title away from Rickett Bowman. And as we were casting our eye over the Tasman as to who might be of the caliber of athlete that we would require in order to give himself every chance of knocking Rickett Bowman off the top of his perch. And we asked one man what his personal opinion might be in terms of who on that side of the Tasman might have the raw skills, ability, and acumen to make his way over and to claim the prize for himself. And we asked Mataio Rungi, the Beast Header Morris, who that man might be. If there was anybody else in New Zealand who might be able to walk away with the title, who could that be? And the first name that came to his lips was the man who's now on screen, Charles Puiri. And we'd like to introduce his wife, Tez, as well, to the podcast. So
it's hard to take you seriously with that hat.
It is a little bit. I think you're just lulling the international arm wrestling community into feeling like this guy's a pushover. Look at him. He's got a Pokemon for it hat on. Actually, what is it?
It's Pikachu, yes.
Pikachu, it is Pikachu, yes. And thinking, this guy must be a pushover. What are you talking about, Dave? But no, really, I mean, all you got to do is check out AWE Grand Prix 2 and you'll see this man go to absolute war with Marcus Tirai in the first round, and you'll know exactly what he's all about. So Charles, you came over to Australia for AWE Grand Prix 2. You really made your name, and now I would say that there's thousands of people around the world that now know of you that might not have previously been aware that you have been one of the top guys in New Zealand now for many, many years. And I believe also you've been competing for the most part, a lot lighter weight than what we saw you at AWE Grand Prix 2 as well. So perhaps you can fill us in with a little bit about your story, how you got your start, and where you've been sitting in the realms of New Zealand arm wrestling over recent times.
Okay, so I originally started off when I was, I think I was 24 years old, and I was in a furniture removal company. And I had a Tongan driver. His name was Uliti, and he was this huge Tongan beast. And I remember we had come back to the yard, and we had passed this tall boy just sitting there, and he looked at me and goes, "Charles, let's have an arm wrestle. I want to break your arm." And I looked at him like, "Are you serious?"
Were you wearing the Pikachu hat at the time?
No, not at the time.
Okay.
And then, so we grabbed up. Actually, I caught him, bring him down to the, pinned him, and he was shocked. I was shocked, and then ever since then, I've fallen in love with arm wrestling. So
incredible! And did you find was there a club nearby where you were living, or how did you find other people that were into arm wrestling?
Yeah, so I didn't jump into the scene till like 2016. So I would have been 30. Mm-hmm. So 6 years later.
Wow.
That's when I found in New Zealand, jumped in the first comp there, but I wasn't taking it too seriously. I actually turned up to that competition 12 cans deep. So I was all over the show.
So well prepared.
Yeah, I was well prepared on my first comp. got my ass beat for the first time. So, yeah, that made me actually stop drinking at tournaments and actually taking it seriously.
And were you training with a club early on, or were you basically just training yourself and working it out on the ship?
Just fooling around with work colleagues. So just guys who lift furniture on a daily basis, pretty much. So
yeah,
they were just strong dudes, but didn't have the technique but the power.
Yeah. And when did you start getting competitive around arm wrestling then?
I think it was about 2017 I actually got real serious, and then I think it was 2019 is when I won 95 category took it up for nationals, and then 2020 is when I stepped in the supers because I really wanted that rank 1 spot off Mate, so it's taken a while, another 5 years.
And there's been quite the rivalry between you two since, hasn't it? A lot of people probably wouldn't be aware that you guys have been, the 1 and 2 for quite some time in New Zealand.
Yes. So with me and Mate, he's had so many guys trying to chase him, but there's so many guys who actually stopped chasing him. I've been the only one who's actually continued that chase.
Keep going.
And I feel like he feels that I'm like not far behind him anymore, so he's actually pushing himself even better. And so every time we compete, he's always that one step further ahead of me every time we compete.
And how much is arm wrestling taking up your life now in terms of training and time away to compete and time away from the family, maybe even?
Oh, I think I'll let my wife answer that question.
No, so for him, that's his love, his first love, taking over this love. He just loves the sport. I didn't really get into the scene until he took it seriously, like a couple of years ago. But yeah, he's now got him and his friend did up a club here, Fresh Meat Arm Wrestling in New Zealand. I'm in Auckland. So they do trainings every week, getting in new people in every week, which is really good, just to try the sport. We have some people stick, but then we have some people that kind of, just floaters. But it's it's been really good. Been really good. Like even when we go on holidays, I always make sure for him to enjoy the holiday, we got to find an arm wrestling club. So the most recent one was in Japan. So that's one of the main things in our itinerary now is to find a club that he can go and grip up with, and
and do you arm wrestle at all, Tez?
Oh, no way, no. These are office arms.
But you seem to have a real appreciation for the sport nonetheless, and understand how important it is to Charles. So, how have you found accommodating arm wrestling with somebody who is elite in the country and is knocking on the door of breaking into the world rankings?
Oh yeah, I'm loving it, and I think it's a community here in New Zealand as well. Has really just going to these comps and just meeting new people, and I think it's just a community that's kind of made us want to stick to the sport, and just it's been good.
And have you been able to do a lot of travel with the sport?
We've been last year. I think we went to Sydney for the qualifiers for. East versus West, which he took out, and that's probably it's just back and forth within Australia, like Arnold's and things like that. We've been to in Melbourne years ago before COVID, but haven't really gone outside of Australia.
Yeah. And do you feel like that's about to change now that Charles is getting this higher profile and there's starting to be a bit more of a buzz around Charles and who he is as an athlete? Do you feel like, is this going to be something where we might be going away a few times a year now?
Oh, I hope so. I really do. Because we love traveling. So, to do that, within a sport as well is just even more rewarding. So, yeah.
Awesome. And Charles, so now we're into the new year in 2025, and Matt's just laughing along with the comments at the moment. But we're now into
Oh, one of my friends sent me a message and said that, oh my God, the Pikachu hat caught me off guard. I'm dying laughing. I'm coughing up a lung. I said, I can't look at him. Look, he's laughing.
Have you thought about bringing it out to any of the competitions, maybe? Just to
Yeah.
Give them ideas.
Yeah. And if they're not put off by the hat, then you can just wag the ears a little bit. So what's on the agenda for early 2025? You're mentioning just off camera that you feel like increasingly it's less about you and more about building up the community in the sport. But obviously you're still training and you're extremely strong. You look great at the end of last year, and wondering how your training's going entering into 2025.
Training's been great. I haven't really done like proper training as like just normal. Maybe I'll do like one heavy lift a week, and then I'll train with my club on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a super match coming up against sorry, just gone blank now.
Someone in New Zealand.
Yeah, so he's number 2 on the left hand.
And is it a left-hand matchup?
Yes, because they couldn't find a right-hand match for me because no one didn't take the bait, so I've got a left-hand match.
And is it a big event that's going on there in New Zealand?
It's the meat stock.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So that this is for the ranking of number 2 for the left-hand at the moment. So that'll be on Feb the 25th.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Very, very good.
Sorry.
And for you, so that's actually really close. And so you've got maybe two weeks to go before that event. And how does your training change is there any change to your diet or your training as you prepare for a big match like this?
So for my diet, I usually eat more. So whatever I can get my hands on, like McDonald's, KFC, or pizza.
Yep.
Just to put on there
in that order.
Pretty quick in 2 weeks.
So
and then all I do basically for my training is just lift as heavy as I can go, like 80 kgs plus on all my lifts. So that's pretty much my trainings.
Wow. And are you comfortably still sitting around that 120 mark?
Yes. Okay.
Yes. And were you previously sitting a bit below that before, from what I understand?
It's taken me a while because like I'm usually sitting around the 105, 110 mark.
Yeah.
So I think it was 2023 is when I started maintaining the weight kind of thing. It was like, and now I can sustain the weight. Yeah. So, but I want to get bigger. So 130 is my mark this year.
Oh,
so.
Really? Yeah.
And that's only because what's his name said it in his podcast.
Brett Coots.
Brett Coots.
Yes.
Brett Coots is getting bigger.
Yeah.
So,
Brett Coots getting bigger. So am I.
So is Brett Coots somebody that's in your line of vision, somebody that you're thinking that you could prepare for?
Yes. Yes, he will be in my radar. He'll be one of them, but I do have other people also. So.
Ooh, and who else is on the wish list?
Well, for me, it's always been Carpenter because I remember when we last grouped up was at Iron Hands in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And he beat me, and then I got destroyed. And the next day, I ended up buying new handles and started training properly again. So thanks
it was
to
the motivation.
Carpenter, it made me put me back on the right track. So
nice. Yeah, sometimes you just need a loss to get that correction. And I was just mentioning before as well, Ryan Bowen always talks about how he feels stronger when he feels fat. You know, so he tries to plump up for a competition, although he is dieting down right now in order to get all the way down to 86 kilos. So I hope he's feeling strong for his knuckles up match. But are you kind of feeling the same? Like if you come in and you feel a little bit heavier, you just feel like you're less prone to injury and niggles and find it easy to put it all on the line?
The whole strength and all that, yes, but I think it's the more cardio side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tend to lose breath faster than smaller guys. So
Yeah.
that's one of the issues of being bigger.
What about that? I'm going to
Sorry.
ask with I was going to say with that the match that you had with Marcus Atirai at the AWE, the opening round, and we were talking about this before. It's like in a tournament situation, you know, you want to get a quick win and move your way through as fast as possible through the rounds. But you guys on the first round had like an absolute war on both rounds. There was the slips and then straps where you and you could tell like both of you had sort of used your entire tournament's efforts in that first matchup. What was going through your mind in that match?
I knew that was going to be that's the worst matchup for me. But for me, I wanted to give Marcus 100% of 100% with my power, and I didn't want to do the whole give up. I'll just save my stamina after the next round. I wasn't thinking about any other rounds. It was just that one round. So whoever stood in front of me, he was my main focus, and I wanted to give him 100%.
Absolutely. Well, right here you can see this is the first round. You're very close to a win. I mean, you're only 2 inches away, an inch away from the pad at some moments. But that King's move that Marcus likes to drop into there, the open arm top roll, you know, he's very, very adept at that position. Did you feel that because you were so close to getting the win, that you're like, I need to keep hitting hard here? What were your thoughts throughout the round?
On the first round, I forgot there was 2 rounds. So like if everyone was there, they'll notice that I actually was walking away from the table because I thought we were done. So I was like, oh yeah. But in my mind, I knew, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a hard match. If I'm gonna wreck myself, I'm gonna wreck him too, to make his life even harder. Sorry, Marcus. Well, that's what
I'm gonna wreck it for him as well.
I'm wrecking myself. I'm gonna wreck you too.
No one's coming out alive.
Yeah.
Well, Marcus said that afterwards. He was like, I was looking at Charles like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to us? You're destroying both of us.
Yeah, but I think the plan worked because we were both destroyed after that match.
Well, one of the great things we love about these tournaments is that you do get these almost little mini super match dynamics that play out, and although you might have progressed too much further because of this huge first round, and maybe made it easier for some of your competitors to progress after you put in such a momentous effort, but it naturally, in a promoter's mind, makes you think about, well, what does a super match over 4 or first to 5 look like with these two guys? If they're going to war like that, you know, what happens when we drag them over 4 or 5 rounds? You know, what does that look like? And does that look like spectacular TV and great arm wrestling? And I think it does. I mean, this had all of the essential elements of a war. And it was super exciting to watch. And I did notice on the faces of some of those people that may have been casual fans or may have been to their very first arm wrestling event that was seated in the crowd. This was their first introduction to serious proper arm wrestling. There've been a couple of little flash pins in the lead up to it, and then you two guys turned up and put on a show, and then all of a sudden you converted the whole front row from being, you know, casuals to being AWE fans for life. Look at it's still going. I mean, we've been. I mean, most rounds are done like that, and you guys are still going on screen.
It's so good. It's so good. You can see the tactics between the two different styles there. You know, Marcus trying to keep his position. He's bumping every now and then, just testing to see if he can get through, and then he finds the gap and manages to jump on a bit of a press through. But yeah, it was over a minute maybe for that round. Absolutely incredible from both of you there.
I think even the ref is applauding you right there. I saw Ben. You got a standing ovation from the ref at the end of that. That doesn't happen all the time, does it?
Yeah.
But you can see.
Did you walk away from that yourself thinking, okay, we've got to have a super match, me and Marcus. We got to sort this out properly.
Yes, I feel like so before that competition started, Mate had called me up and he was asking Charles, have you got a plan for Marcus? And I was like, yep, I'm gonna stay up high, top of the pad, and blah blah blah. And then when I jumped on that table, it just all went out the window. It was just like I'm just gonna do everything wrong right now. So
so you didn't quite execute in the way that you'd planned.
no, not one bit. No.
It all became a street fight right there and then.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna match your power, and if we both knock each other out, so be it. So
you see both of you for the rest of the tournament. As here, you're going against Tyler Harrison with a great top roll and a lot of side pressure, able to contain Tyler's hit there and get through to continue on in the tournament. But you could see at the start when Dave was introducing you for each match after your first round, you were breathing still super heavy still. It's like, oh my God, he's still breathing heavy from the previous match. But,
yeah, I think throughout the whole event, I was trying to recover and it just wasn't working. So.
Is this you coming in here? No, hang on. I think I've almost got the next match lineup. Oh, that's Ryan there. And there he is.
There he is.
Charles.
Yep, that's me looking on the ground going, damn it, one more match.
Can't I just go home yet?
You faced Ryan a few times previously. How were you feeling leading up to this point?
My pronator was gone, so as you can see on this first match, I was actually trying to go for my top roll like I usually do, but there was no pronator there, and he just took my hand and pinned me straight away. So I think the second one, Ryan let me go into the hook, which I felt a little bit comfortable, but I couldn't move from there because I was so buggered. So
yeah, so it's so hard, and when you come into these tournaments, you you can come in with all the game plans you like, but when you're under the bright lights and you've got a competitor there across the table and you just don't want to lose, the competitive nature of an elite athlete such that you just don't want to give it anything less than your absolute best. And the reality is, although you didn't probably move as far forward in the competition as you would have liked, though that war in itself is what people are going to remember for years to come out of this tournament.
Yes, I think when I got back, most of the guys in New Zealand or like my members and all that in my club were always, there's that what if, all those questions, what if this, what if that, kind of when they ask me stuff like that. So
Were they impressed with how you did? Like, were they excited and happy for you?
Yes. They were jumping off their seats and screaming and shouting. Probably for a minute.
And Tez, how do you feel watching Charles in these situations? I know some girlfriends or wives just won't even go and watch their partners arm wrestle for fear of seeing an arm break or that horrible popping sound as we heard with Alex McKinnon's elbow during the early rounds of Grand Prix 2. So how do you feel? Because I mean, you were there live for this. Do you try to get along to all of the tournaments?
Yeah, because I just love like the whole atmosphere and how you guys organized this was just amazing. Like it was such a good vibe. But yeah, for me, I used to like cringe like every time I was watching them go up, but now I'm just like, I don't even do that.
Kill him! Kill him!
I get the piercing eyes on my back, like.
I'm like, don't waste my time here, boy.
Yeah.
We drove all the way here. You better win.
Hilarious. And well, you were mentioning before, you're feeling like it's more about the future now, and you're doing your best to spread the good word about arm wrestling throughout New Zealand. And so, what does that now look like for you now that you feel like you're one of the older souls of the sport, one of the custodians of the legacy that the sport has there in New Zealand? And what does that look like for you in the years to come?
So yeah, with growing the sport for his club, yeah, just over the weekend, one of the local board chairperson came through, like they were just riding their bike, past on the bike trail where we were training, and he stopped because of their t-shirts, and he said, "Hey, if you guys are looking for grants and things like that, hit me up, give me your email address." And so now we're in talks of, so it's,
and that just came about by
just
being
training.
there.
Just at a park, just training, and then just seeing the t-shirt, and he was like, "Hey, I sign off on these grants, blah blah blah, and if you want to grow the sport, just give me your email." And so now we're in cahoots, and hopefully, but then also trying to juggle his training as well, just trying to get him stronger and get him more matches. But it's only the beginning of the year, so yeah.
So Tess, are you like the manager there? Is that what's going on here?
Yes.
The manager
I can't travel without her because I'll get lost. I'll end up in a different country.
You'll be in Austria.
Exactly. So I do a lot of just behind the scenes, but it's really good. We've got some of the guys that the members, they're all chipping in now, so doing reels and trying to just get all over social media and stuff like that. So
fantastic. And if people do want to find the club and Charles, how can they do that? Is Instagram the best
they'll
spot?
find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. It's just Fresh Meat Arm Wrestling Club. The reason for the name is Fresh Meat. It's trying to get new people in, fresh blood into the sport. Yeah,
love it. Fantastic. I would say of all the sports, arm wrestling has the best names for clubs of all the sports that are out there. There's some spectacular names around the world. We're coming across Hollywood Matt Connolly. We're at the 27-minute mark. Maybe we can throw to the comments and see what the good people out there are sharing with the world.
Well, it does help that you've explained that fresh meat thing, because I was like, why is everyone saying fresh meat all
Are
the
they
time?
like butchers or something?
In the comments here, we've got a whole bunch of people that have said some fresh meat things. We've got Sam Well, who says Charles. We've got some love from from India, church in Israel. Fantastic. Jason Coyer says fresh meat all day. And New Zealand's strongest woman is Ashley Hoyter, who we had on the other night. She's doing great things in the sport as well.
Yeah.
We've got how do you say that surname there? It's Biz Toya. Charles and Tez, he says. Another tricky name for me here. Have a go at that one.
All the Islanders.
Send you. Yeah. We've got SJ Hirawani says, "Let's go Cap," and Benji Puiri. Is that a brother or cousin?
A cousin.
Yes.
Cousin.
That arm wrestles too. Yeah.
There's
great.
more. There's more.
Tamati Bellamy says, "Man, that was an awesome match." That was the one that he was obviously referring to, Marcus Thurai and Charles. That's the AWE Grand Prix 2. Mr. Paul says he loves watching Charles compete. He's a great arm wrestler. Ashley Milne says, "Not the Pikachu hat, Charles Puiri." Says, "Hey, sis Tess, Winterstein Fury," and Jason Coyer says, "That hat, man." And Aaron Castillo's just swapped in as well. There we go. Fantastic. Yeah, some great comments there from the people. Obviously, a lot of support for Charles. Is that most of the members in the club that are popping in?
I believe so. I see you guys. Bit of comment, guys.
And before we go, we all know how Hollywood Matt Connolly got his nickname, but how did you get DeCap?
Captain was actually short for captain, so I got that when I was working in the furniture scene. So everyone used to call me the captain. So anything that needed to be done, they came to me and asked what we're going to do today, sort of thing. And I just stuck with it. So
nice. The cap. Very good.
The co-cap behind the scenes.
Co-cap.
Oh. Well, it really does look like that the future of New Zealand arm wrestling is in very, very good hands as you two come together and start spreading the word in your part of the world. And increasingly, you're attracting not only fans to the sport, but your members to your club and funding via this wonderful new connection as well, which seems to, well, it makes me feel like things are heading in the right direction in your part of the world. And in large thanks to yourselves and your tremendous efforts in getting this club off the ground and running. And it sounds like you've got a great culture already brewing there.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So cool. And of course, looking forward to all that 2025 has to offer. Would you like to just quickly share with us maybe one or two big names you'd like to take on in 2025, 2026?
Okay, so I already said the Australian guy I want is Lachlan Carpenter.
Brett Coots, Lachlan Carpenter.
Yep.
Brett Coots.
Maybe in the Philippines,
Ooh.
Michael Ford. I think he won the East vs West qualifiers.
Yeah.
I was actually looking forward to compete against him that time.
Mhm.
And maybe in the America scene and all that, give me Schoolboy. I want
Schoolboy. All right.
Yeah,
Call outs are done. It's out there.
Wow.
We can't take it back now. There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please thank Charles and Tez Puiri for joining us on the Arm Wrestling Tonight podcast. Hollywood Matt Connolly, any further thoughts before we go away?
Got to hit the double biceps in the contract. Needs to happen every single time we appear on camera. There we go.
There it is.
All right. And yeah, it's fantastic. Thanks to everybody who is in the chat who said hello, all the people from the Fresh Meat Arm Wrestling Club. If you're interested in arm wrestling at all and you're in New Zealand, check out that club. I'm sure they're very welcoming, lovely people. So it is a fun sport to get involved with. And you'll learn from one of the best in New Zealand in Charles Puiri. So thank you again to everyone for tuning in. Any final thoughts at all, Charles and Tess?
No, just thanks again for the opportunity, and
we're
excited for what's to come to 2025.
Well, thank you very much for the Pikachu hat, and we look forward to all that's coming in 2025 as well. Maybe just a little flap of the ears before we go away.
Yeah.
There we go. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Awesome, Hollywood Matt Connolly. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Everybody in the comments section. Everybody that continues to support the Arm Wrestling Tonight podcast. We're coming to you 5 nights a week. That's right, 5 nights a week here at the Arm Wrestling Tonight podcast. And maybe just watch out, because this weekend there might be a highlight of all the best bits of Arm Wrestling Tonight. So that can be coming very, very soon. Just to be announced anyway. So Hollywood Matt Connolly, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Charles and Tez, and we'll see you all tomorrow night.